Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It is really hot out here this week and we are going to pick some beans. So these are our beans and we have two varieties of beans. These are bush beans. These are the regular bush bean variety. They grow nice and long. These are nice and firm, so they are ready to pick. Our second variety is right next door. These are the flat Italian beans. They're a little bit flatter than these, and we are going to pick both of these today, starting with our regular bush beans. All right, you guys, I picked two huge buckets full of bush beans. So now we gotta wash them up and get them ready. So here you can see a difference between the Italian flat bean and the regular bush bean. That's just a long string bean, or snap bean is what we like to call these. So they do grow very differently, but we're going to treat them the same on how we usually cook them. All right, so we have washed our beans. What we're going to do is prepare them for the freezer. So you can either snap or cut off these ends. You can also cut them in half, depending on what size bean that you want. And these are the pieces we're going to keep, and these are the pieces we're going to discard. So I have a bowl for each. I'm going to put all my discard pieces in one bowl and all my beans in another really big bowl. So that's all we're going to do is cut off these little ends and get them ready to blanch. All right, so there's 1 gallon. We have another gallon bag of beans to snap and cut, and all our little discard pieces. So we're halfway there. This is 2 gallons worth of our snap beans, or our bush beans. The first thing we're gonna do to prepare the beans is to blanch them, because we're not gonna eat all of these beans at one time. We are gonna freeze some of them. So I'm gonna start our pot of water with, this is about a gallon worth of our Italian beans. We're going to bring it to a boil for 3 minutes and then put it in ice water to stop the cooking. We're going to add just a little bit of salt as well. All right, so we have a boiling pot of water, and we just put our green beans. These are the Italian green beans from our garden, and we're going to let it boil for 3 minutes, and then we're going to put it into a bowl of ice water, and we have our little slotted spoon here ready to get them out the minute the 3-minute timer is up. All right, so it's been 3 minutes. We're going to go ahead and get these out and put them immediately into our bowl of ice water to stop the cooking. This will shock them and hopefully keep their nice, pretty green color. So our bowl of ice water has managed to stop the cooking process. So what we're going to do now is drain these and lay them out flat so they can dry completely before we freeze them. All right, so we have drained our beans. We're going to go ahead and lay them out on a sheet pan that I have with some paper towels. We're going to hopefully get them all dried off here before we have to freeze them. All right, we're going to let these dry on the sheet pan. They need to be fully dry before we put them in the freezer. So there's no way we could eat all these beans at one time, so we are going to go ahead and package some of these in our freezer bags. We're going to repeat the same process for our snap beans, the bush beans. These are going to boil for 3 minutes, and then we will put them in the ice water, and then we will put them on a tray to dry just like we did our Italian beans. So I have sealed some of our beans, and I put the date and what they're called on here. So this is just enough to put in our bean pot, and I'll Probably about 2 cups worth of beans here. So we'll go ahead and do some more bags and get all of the beans sealed up and ready to either use or freeze. We used our food saver and vacuum sealed all of our green beans after they dried after blanching. And I've labeled them with the date and when they came and which brand they are. These are the Italian beans, these are the snap beans. So we are ready for these to go in our freezer until we want to eat them. So that is how we harvested and prepared our beans straight from the garden. We hope that you enjoyed this video. If you want to see how we prepare them, I have a short video on YouTube on how to do some crack green beans, and they are so delicious. So go watch that. I'll link it up above, and you can see if you want to prepare the beans the same way. These are really easy to grow. You just put the seeds in the ground, water them, and within less than 2 months, you have a huge harvest. We're up to 4 gallons already on our crops. So we hope that you enjoy this, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye. I have 2 tablespoons of melted butter, 3 teaspoons of soy sauce, a 1/3 cup of brown sugar, a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 5 pieces of bacon cooked and crumbled. We're going to take our bacon and crumble it on top of our green beans. You can also double this recipe if you like, if you need to feed more people. Now I'm going to mix our melted butter with our 3 teaspoons of soy sauce, our brown sugar, our garlic powder, and our salt. I'm going to give this a stir. All right, now we're going to pour our sauce on top of our green beans. Give it a quick toss. It's all ready. We're going to bake it at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. There they are. They cooked at 30 minutes, 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and they look delicious.